Well, welcome again to another Discover Trempealeau County show. As you know, we've been around the county discovering interesting people and things that they do, and today we've got a very interesting show. We're located in the French Creek Valley, right about at the intersection of D and T. D goes to Whitehall, T goes to Arcadia, and this is one of the first shows that we'll be having on Christmas decorations. We're visiting Judy and Chuck Hoff, and they live on the farm here, and they got a real spectacular display of Christmas things, and we'll be talking outside. Wade will be coming back tonight and filming a little of the colored lights. It's just absolutely spectacular. And to start the show, I think I'll ask Chuck a few questions. How long have you lived on the farm here in French Creek?
I was born and raised on the farm here. Been here my entire life.
So you went to the French Creek School, which is located right next door.
Yes.
You didn't have far to walk.
I was spent eight years there.
And so how big a farm do you have?
We got a 280-acre farm here.
Are you still farming the land? Are you milking cows, or do you raise pigs or beef or anything?
I'm milking a few cows and raise heifers and doing a little farming. I'm just a hobby farmer.
Are you doing the farming all by yourself, or do you have some help?
Well, it's my youngest kid helps, but he's also a welder in Black River, and he helps when he gets around the farm here.
Well, let me ask you, how can you get this display you got out here that we'll be looking at shortly, and your farming? How do you have time to help with putting up all those display items for Christmas?
Well, it ain't that I help so much with the Christmas stuff. I help once in a while, and she does it and helps me with chores and sneaks out and does it, and then back and forth till you're done.
Well, I think Judy will talk to you a little bit about, we're sitting in the living room here, and you've also got the interior decorated as well as the exterior for Christmas. When do you start putting up your Christmas display?
Well, I think I had started the last of October.
So it takes a long time, don't it?
My Halloween things are down.
You mean you have Halloween displays as well as Christmas?
Yes. Oh, yes.
What else? Do you have other?
Every season for Valentine's Day and St. Patrick's Day and Easter, Halloween, everything. 4th of July.
Well, you mean you put up different displays for all these events?
Yeah.
After looking at it today as we came in, we drove by and then we came back. Are they as extensive for these other holidays, festivities, as they are for Christmas? Or?
No.
You know, I drove by. I worked, for the Soil Conservation Service. I used to drive down through French Creek and D here many times. I noticed that you always had a very interesting display of old machinery and things like that in your yards here that were really attractive. When did you start, if I could ask you, Chuck or Judy, when did you start decorating your yards with things?
Well, I don't really know, but it's been a few years. Like I say, I don't really know,
You remember when was the first, you got a lot of antique machinery out there. What's the first item you bought?
I don't remember. The first item we bought would have been a potato digger and a potato planter and an old tractor, if I remember right.
So are these things, they're decorated for Christmas now, aren't they?
Well, no, they're not decorated. She went and bought her other stuff.
Okay, so they're not all the old machines you have here are decorated. So about how long a time do you keep the display up? I think Wade is hoping to get this on the air because this is a spectacular Christmas light display. In fact, it's spectacular going by in the daytime. So about how long would you leave this up?
I usually turn it off like New Year's Day night or, a little after it. But maybe I could leave it up a little early or a little later.
I think people around the county are going to have an opportunity to see this video, and they're going to be interested. So maybe you could leave it a couple more days, you know.
Oh, yes, yeah, I can do that.
So, do you do all this work all by yourself, or do you get some help from the neighbors? Or sounds like Chuck helps a little bit on occasion, but do you get any other help?
Well, I got Mike over here, our neighbor, helps little. And then I asked Darlene, my friend, and she tells me how I should have it and where a lot of times. And then Amy comes down a little, and
so you have a little bit of help.
Yeah.
Dan?
Yeah.
So
helps me a little.
So you do have a little help, but you have the primary responsibilities yourself. Then, this is kind of a hard question to answer.
And if I need anything, I just call her up, and then she goes to town after it.
So, do you have any idea, Chuck or Judy, just how? I mean, it takes scores of hours. Many 40-hour weeks are putting up this display. Do you have any ideas? Must be a guess, I imagine, but because you don't you don't work on it continually. But do you have some kind of idea how many hours that you put in erecting and putting on the display, putting up the display?
Well, not really, because I'm the hired man, so I have to only do it in between times. You know, lot of days probably I'll have 2 hours. Maybe one day it's only an hour, and maybe a lot of times it's more. I mean, it just depends on.
Well, has this display, let's just talk about the Christmas display, because that's what we're going to be looking at. But you mentioned the other events that you have displays in your yard. But is this, how long have you been doing this? About how many years? Or have you done it all your life, ever since you were married and living on the farm?
Ever since we come down here, I know. And I don't know.
Has it been 20 years or?
Probably not that long.
Has the display that exists here, has it always been this big? This is really extensive. Or have you increased it a little bit every year, or have you reached the level a few years ago and it's maintained that level? Or
every year it gets more.
Well, you're full of a lot of ambition then, aren't you?
We've more or less reached the level pretty much now, I think.
So you don't think it may increase too much anymore?
No, I don't.
Well, this, I think, is one of the most vast displays that I've seen anywhere in Trempealeau County. So what originally kind of motivated you to want to make these Christmas displays in your yard? Did you have was there something about your childhood as when you grew up with your folks or something, have a lot of emphasis on displays, Christmas displays, or anything like that? Or where did the original idea for developing something like this come from?
I think it was her own idea, but she started a little bit and liked it, and then just got to be adding on more and more, I think. But
you just couldn't hold her back once she started. Well, this display, we're going out in a few minutes to look at it, and Wade's coming back to film it later in the evening. And where do you find all the products that you got out here, all the things you're displaying? Where do you find everything?
Well, sometimes I'd be going at Arcadia and Ettrick after the holidays, and down at Menards.
So you kind of
Across Walmart.
When the price goes down after the holidays.
I load up.
Well, it sounds, according to Chuck here, you may not be doing that this year.
So he don't see it all sometimes.
Does she really sneak it in once in a while?
well, probably so.
Well, Judy, would it be possible maybe for us to go out and take a look at the displays, and maybe you could, Chuck, and describe the different things that you have here? It's really extensive.
All right.
Okay, let's go out and take a look at things. Well, we're in the yard of Judy and Chuck Hoff here on the corner of D&T in French Creek, looking at their Christmas decorations, a huge, enormous display of Christmas decorations. And we might talk a little about the weather here today. Today is the 19th. That means it's 6 days before Christmas, the year 2001. And have you ever seen any weather like this? We got green grass, there's no snow, and the ground isn't froze. Do you ever remember any weather like this time of the year?
No, I don't.
And Chuck over here doesn't even have a jacket on. That tells you a little about the weather today. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. So, but we're here to talk about your displays, not the weather, but I thought it was good to note that because it's in my memory, and I go back a long way, I've never seen any weather like this around Christmas time. Where'd you get the idea for this bicycle with a reindeer on it? Is that kind of original idea?
Well, that isn't mine. I had gotten it from a guy.
Is that
He wanted it up, so.
Is that all full of lights and things at night?
Yes.
Do you have anything?
Those blue lights were supposed to be going around, but then they stopped, so. But now I just have them stationary.
Boy, oh boy, I tell you, you got lights on there. You got 200 lights on that bicycle and reindeer. You must have many hundreds of thousands of lights out here. Do you have any idea?
I don't have any idea.
How many?
It's many.
How many extension cords do you have? We'll see them as we float around here. There are a lot of them.
Well, it's many, and later on I'll be putting a 6 foot in one box and a 9 foot in one box and the 9 and the 12. You know, all of it in one box.
You're at the edge of your display. What used to be the French Creek School, which was converted into a house, is right behind us. This is where you said you went to school, right, Chuck? Yeah. And I think your lawn must be 200 feet long all the way across, and perhaps 75 feet or more wide. And this is all full of displays. Plus, I think you got displays in the house and your sheds and your barns. So let's walk behind us here and talk a little bit about the trees. Now, when we drove by here a little earlier, Wade, I thought these were real trees. They were trees, but
All artificial.
so you buy these trees and you put them up, or do you raise them?
No, no.
You have how many trees here? About 6 or 8. And they're all decorated with lights as well?
Yeah.
So do you have any trouble with wind? I see they're just set up like they are in a house. So how do you keep them from blowing over?
Well, I got them tied up with fence posts.
That's a real big job. And right behind us, Wade is probably going to be able to pick it up, is it's a windmill. It looks like a windmill. Chuck, maybe you could tell us a little about that. That looks like it's a windmill that has an enormously large fan.
It has. It's an old one. It's one my dad put up here on the yard, and they're still here.
Is it actually a windmill that was in use someplace?
Yeah, it was. That windmill came from the Hugden Brothers farm in the lower end of French Creek here. That's where it came from.
Oh, it's been up for many years here.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I remember your father, you were saying, is a fellow that had all the machinery that was out here for many years. Well, I think we'll walk over to the next site, and Judy, maybe you could just tell us about this.
Here's a.
Maybe we could move over a little so Wade can get a.
I had gotten in our Acadia many years ago.
Somebody had you might say, a little artistic ability to make. That's made out of, it appears to be coffee.
Coffee cans, yeah.
And do you have a light? How is this lit up at night?
Well, it's all different bulbs in it. All different colors. And it looks like
Oh, you got a bulb in each one of those coffee pots. Oh, boy. Well, maybe we could walk down in another area here where you got a huge display of It looks like Santa.
Reindeer.
And what is this? Probably looks a little different at night, or is that
No, that's a
Santa Claus?
Santa.
And then you got what, a sleigh?
Sled, and then the two little reindeer, and then the jumping, and
Yeah. How do these look at night? When you see them at night, how do they look?
well, they're white.
Looks very good at night.
Are the lights all of one color in this display?
No, it's all different colors too.
White, yeah.
And would that be Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer on the front there?
Probably.
Well, we'll go over, we'll just keep walking through this.
Trees are got lights, and then that one windstorm kind of had taken them.
Wow. Now, I'm glad you mentioned that. Those lights go all the way to the top. You must be a little more limber than I think you are, putting lights on like that.
We've got a long stick, so we reach as high as possible, and then we stand on a ladder.
Wow, that must look beautiful.
It's not easy.
Well, it must look beautiful at night. And here is something that I remember on the inside of this display. Now tell us about this.
That's an old cream separator she wanted in the flower bed, and now she's got Christmas lights hooked onto it.
Is this your idea, Judy, putting those lights in?
Yeah.
That's really clever. And I don't know if Wade can get this unless we want to walk up there, but there's a bicycle that appears to be a bicycle built for two. Tell us about that. Where did you get that?
It's a bicycle I bought back in '77. I bought it from Jim and Patty Larson.
So did you ever ride it?
Judy and I rode it a little bit, but she was too heavy to paddle.
I'd say you were too lazy to pedal. That's what I'd say. But now you got a couple Santa Clauses on there, right?
And lights also on it.
Are the tires all lit up like the other button?
The tires are.
Do they actually turn? Do they turn? Well, who come up with that idea of turning? You did?
I did.
So as you go by here at night, it looks like that bicycle is moving. Is there enough light there so it shows up the bicycle at night?
Yes, yeah, I think so.
Well, we'll move over to the next item that Wade is filming. And you'll have to tell me. You see the major scene, of course, in front.
It's supposed to say Merry Christmas.
Shows up at night, right? Now, who made that?
Carl Ekman made it for me, because I ordered it from him.
Well, I'll bet you that shows up nice. You know, right behind Wade here, I just noticed, you got these fancy displays, bicycle lights. They got at least...
An awful time with them.
What do you mean by that?
Well, he had put up these electric fence posts, and he had them so far, so when he wasn't home, I had to add them on in the middle.
Oh, because they swayed. They kind of sway. They're heavy. Yeah, you got, oh, boy, let's say 200 feet of bicycle lights here, right along Highway D here.
Because he had them all in, and he wasn't going to put any more in, so I thought, I'll fool him. I'll be getting them in.
Well, let's take another look up in this area where you got another extensive display. Tell us a little bit about the lights in your house, which Wade will be filming perhaps this evening. Do you have a lot of displays on?
They're red.
All the lights are red on the house?
Yeah, up on it, you know. The roof, I mean.
Oh, boy, you got them way up there, too. Well, how about this display right in front of us here? You have, would you just kind of...
I have a projector on, but I mean, it's too many lights.
What do you mean by...
Projector won't show.
Explain that. What do you mean projector? What is a...
Projector, you know, that goes and...
Well, is there displays that are exhibited against your house, you mean? But you're having a little trouble with that working?
Because it's too light.
Oh.
Because there's too many lights. I mean,
Oh, it's too many lights. The picture don't show up on your house. What kind of pictures had you intend to show on your house?
well, you can see it. It's Santa Claus and Merry Christmas and things like that.
House wall and goes on the house wall, and then it's in a circle and different Christmas pictures on it.
And it rotates every so many seconds. Wow. Well, that's located on top of a machine that I also recognize from my youth. What is it?
It's a potato digger.
Yeah, I've dug a few potatoes. I picked a few potatoes after the diggers. And how about this display right here? Explain what this is all about. It's pretty...
Mary and Joseph and Jesus and the three wise men and the shepherd and the two sheep and the donkey. So this is new here.
This whole display in front of us is all new?
Yeah.
Wow. I thought you weren't going to... I thought you told me a little earlier you weren't increasing anymore.
Now this was new from, now.
Wow. And we're not even halfway through this display. I'm beginning to think you have your electrical bill might be a little higher during the Christmas season.
Last year, I don't know if it went up $200 extra or $3.
Well, you're sure...
Now it might be more.
One thing about it, you're sure thinking of the people passing by here at night, looking at your display, and that's really nice of you to put on a exhibition like this for the public. And do you have a lot of cars that stop as you go by? And
Yeah.
above here, it looks like a walking plow. Tell us a little about that. Did you ever use that?
No, I never used it. My dad had it up for a mailbox years ago, but we had to take it off the road, so we put it up in the yard here.
Well, there's a lot of ground plowed with machines like that before the tractors came around, and today you got it full of lights, right, for Christmas. In some of the other festivals that you mentioned earlier, Judy, do you also use that plow for some
Yeah.
for different displays?
I have lights on it, yeah. For Halloween, it's pumpkin lights, and for Easter it's Easter lights.
Now I think we went by some...
These are new.
well, can you explain those a little bit? Do those...
This one is the one that'd be going up and...
Do they come with lights? Do they come with lights? Are they kind of all made by the time you got them, or do you have to put the lights on?
I think these had them on.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Otherwise, my daughter-in-law always does it for me.
And these look like reindeer, right?
Uh-huh, yeah.
Well, I think that Wade is filming over here on, well, I want to...
For mine last year after the holiday, so I got them left.
Well, you're kind of smart. You get in on those deals, don't you? Wade is filming what appears to be a kind of a wishing well type of thing, and that's all decked out. Is this your design as well, Judy?
No, I bought it.
But how about the decorations?
Yeah, that's mine, yeah. I done it.
The guy in the middle of that don't look like Santa Claus.
No, that's an elf.
Oh. And how about the bulbs here on the tree? What can you say?
Bought them once, I guess, and I didn't know where to put them, so.
Wow. And are they lights lit up? Is this tree lit up? Are the bulbs lit up as well? You mean there's lights inside of those bulbs? Wow. And you have a kind of somewhat of a little walking bridge here with Santa Claus. Is that another one of your displays?
Oh, yeah.
You had that up a long time, quite a few years. And how about the little windmill that exists behind?
Well, there's lights on it also.
As long as...
It looks like a tree at night, I suppose,
And as we look behind the windmill here, up in your yard, which is, they're just loaded with candy canes and Santa Clauses. And tell us a little...
Just knocking them down, though. The wind is knocking them.
Do you have a little trouble with the wind? I can see what I can see. Yeah. Well, where do you come up with all these ideas? Are you kind of artistic? Are you an artist, or are you?
Heavens no, heavens no.
But you are creative because you got things of beauty that attract people. And right ahead of us here, right ahead of us is another display. Could you just briefly explain what that is or what it looks like?
Santa, and then it's the reindeer, and then it's the sled.
How about boy, I just noticed you got 3 windmills here. That windmill just right above those candy canes up there, is that decorated as well?
Oh, yes.
Well, how about
The windmill is going around up on top, and I had Mike, our neighbor, do it.
You mean the lights make it look like it's turning at night?
Around, yeah, yeah.
Boy, oh boy, this just boggles my mind. You guys are working night and day putting all this up. Well, Wade is going to do some more filming right along Highway D. He's right in the middle of the road, so be sure and let us know if any cars come. So, right along Highway D here, you have, just explain what you have. I see 3 things that are located right near the road here.
Well, there's a Green Bay Packer snowman. And then it's Mr. and Mrs. Santa. And then it's another Santa with
kind of a patriotic Santa up there, and it's right along the icicle fence here.
So this tree here is red, white, and blue.
Oh wow!
Red, white, and blue.
So you got the patriot. That's appropriate, isn't it, for this for what's been going on here in America this year?
There's an old toboggan.
Yeah, we'll wait just a minute. I think Wade is filming right now. Your north central region. That must be something to do with the milk that you sell here. Your name as you enter the farmstead.
Mm-hmm.
And now this toboggan. Is this a real toboggan or is it something that you made?
I think it's his old one.
It's a real toboggan. It's an old one.
When you say old, how old is it?
Something my dad made, so it's quite old.
Yeah, well, that's worth something as an antique, I think. And you got that decorated, Judy, and you got some Santa Claus there, and tell us.
And gingerbread guy and a little teddy bear.
Boy, and it's all lit up at night, and it looks like the reindeer.
Yeah.
Reindeer has got some unique lights on the horn.
Yes, yeah.
All white.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Did Chuck make the reindeer?
No, I happened to notice it, and then I had my Dwayne made it for me.
Dwayne, he's your son?
My brother.
Oh. Well, Judy and Chuck, this I think is one of a display that's really unique here, very unique. Kind of explain it to me.
Well, I had all them toy ones, and then we happened to be getting that large one from a guy. Osborne, Jerry Osborne, because he liked our ornaments. So
he designed that kind of on the basis of the small one.
Yeah, yeah.
And what do you call this? You said what? Toy soldiers? Or?
Yeah, yeah.
How did you happen to, come up with it?
I only got lights coming down then.
Oh, you got a pure.
So it kind of looks like a merry-go-round at night.
Are they moving as well, or?
No.
So how does I guess maybe I don't understand. How does this fit into the Christmas theme?
I don't know. I just bought.
It's red, right? Okay. Well, let's walk over this way a little bit, and we'll have. You've got a nice display over on your building over here. Now, is that building all decorated with light? Well, it is. It's icicle lights. It's decorated all the way around?
Well, all the way around here and on the bottom and on the other end. Yeah.
And you've got
lights.
You've got displays there of looks like a reindeer and Santa. You got another reindeer. You got another Santa face, and you got.
Yeah.
Light. Oh, you got a stocking there. Yeah. How does that show up at night?
Nice, nice.
Oh, I'm getting to believe that I'm getting tired just walking around saying on about putting all these things up. Well, how about the windmill? That
That goes.
you mean it's stationary? The blades are stationary, maybe wired.
Yeah.
The lights they.
Now the lights go around. Yeah.
And who does all this?
I had Mike come over and be putting on new ones, but as long as they worked, well, I'll do it next year if I do it.
How about on your silo here? By the way, I think that, if I'm looking at that right, that's a wood stave silo, Doug. Is that correct?
Right.
There aren't very many of those left in Trempealeau County. Very, very few. So you better keep that around. That's an unusual thing just in itself. Do you have some displays up in the silo?
Yeah, there's the star, and then the Santa, ho, 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 and then there's lights going up the steps.
And you have some displays around your barn as well.
And then there's lights on it, and then we got a flag on it.
A flag?
On the barn.
Oh, yeah, just above the Amish buggy, there's a flag. And you
It's nice at night.
got some wheels. Are the wheels below the Amish buggy? Are they decorated with lights as well?
No.
Well, maybe we could move a little further this way.
But I ran out of time.
I can see why. And how about these reindeer here, Judy? Just
Buy them for me at French. Bill? Yeah.
but you decorated them.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Made out of birch wood. Pretty clever. People are clever. And this baler is, boy, this thing is lit up. The tractor is lit up.
I spent a lot of time with, because that takes an awful lot of time. The wheels are going.
Oh, the wheels on the tractor are going with light. The lights make it look like it's moving.
Yeah.
Wow. How about the wheels on the?
The baler also, and then up on top.
You mean it looks like it's moving at night?
I was up on that. I
Let
was
me-
way up on top of there.
And
Those lights up.
you say that it makes it look like the baler is moving?
Yeah.
Well, how do you do that? That's something I know nothing about.
Well, I just put them on, and
But how do you make the lights
Keep 'em
move?
on.
Is it a certain type of light?
yeah. It's certain lights you buy.
Tell us a little about the tractor here, Chuck. Is this one you used to have, or
That's what I used to farm with.
you're still in use today? So yeah, it looks like you're going to be immobilized for a few weeks here.
Yeah, I will be now.
How long did it take you? Just looking at this, looking at all the tape and everything that's on to hold the lights and everything. How long did it take you to just? This is a small part of your total display, but how long did it take you to put the lights on the baler and the tractor?
I think I spent 3 days or so, off and on.
Working what?
Even longer, because you almost got to have them lights on the tires at night, because otherwise your thing will be going.
So you spend like 3 days, maybe what, 6 hours a day?
Not that many, I don't think.
But you spend a lot of time. Wow. I'm just kind of overwhelmed. I'm kind of breathless looking at all these displays. I got to bring my wife down.
Going the right direction, otherwise your tractor will be going backwards instead of frontwards.
Well, there's a lot of planning.
That you don't want.
How about this display? Now you got it looks like another American flag. Is that something that you have created below the Santa Claus there, that American flag? Is that?
I ordered it.
And are these Santa Claus and snowman, I guess, are they lit up at night?
Yeah.
How are they lit up?
Well, with a light bulb.
On the inside?
Yeah.
They show up pretty good then.
I
What?
put them up myself. That's the first
It's a little
I had done.
effort putting them up because you guys see you got them wired down so they don't blow up. Well, where should we go next year, Judy? We're coming up into the yard right near your house. Wade has you got all these candy canes. That's part of feeling of Christmas, just walking into your house. Have you added a little of those every year?
No, no.
You've had them for a few years?
Yeah.
How about that Santa Claus just beyond? It looks like it's in front of the maybe what used to be a chicken coop or.
Snowman.
Oh, you can see I'm kind of getting.
Got it because I was going to be having it earlier, and then they wanted $80 for it, and I thought it was too much. Well, then it went down, and then I thought if you'd be poking a hole in it, why it'd be gone. But then later on, I had gotten it less.
Now I noticed it's blowing around a little today in the wind.
Well, it needs a little bit tightening up now.
Is that lit up at night?
Yes, yeah.
Now, how is that lit up? Is it you have a spotlight on it, or?
No, it's lit up inside.
Judy, Wade is filming another little display. Could you kind of explain that to the folks?
Well, I just bought them in that one item Ekman made it. My brother-in-law made it.
It's really, it looks like it's a whole bunch of lights inside of glass. It looks like plastic glasses, circular glass. That's pretty clever. Does it look pretty nice at night?
Yes, yeah.
And your everything is decorated with lights all over. Even behind us here, you've got a Noel scene and a little gazebo with all kinds of lights. I'm really impressed with your display here. You said you do pick some apples, so you can't start quite as early as you normally would like to.
I don't pick them, but I pack them. And then I usually have to stop earlier because I have to be starting up with these lights, which I miss, but.
Well, there's something you enjoy. What is it that you enjoy about putting up these lights? It's a very creative display all over this yard. Just boggles my mind. What do you enjoy?
And I enjoy after it's done, but not when I'm doing it because it's too much work. And then my husband is always telling me we haven't got any time because we're farming.
Doug, you don't say anything like that, do you?
Once in a while, I probably do.
Well, I can sure see why, because this is I just can't believe that you.
And everybody asks me, have you got your lights on? Have you started yet?
It gives people a lot of joy to drive by your place, so it's got to give you a good feeling that you're making people joyous.
I would miss it if I'd have to just leave all of this also.
You know, the thought goes through my mind that this you got to have quite a large shed just to display to store all these things.
Oh, all it takes a little room, but it ain't that much, you know.
Well, we sure.
Coop up there is mine.
Oh, you got the keys to that building, huh? Well, I tell you, you got more things here, but I think we're running out of time, and I think we'd like to invite the people to come down at Highway D, down at the intersection of D and T. Take a look at Judy and Chuck's massive display of Christmas things in their yard. It's even good to look at as we're looking at it today in the light. You know, when it's light, but I can't imagine at night how it looks. Is there anything that we in our program here today that we may have missed that you'd like to tell us about?
I can think of.
Well, Wade and I really appreciate coming out, filming your.
I'm nervous, I know.
You're tired too, I think.
Tonight we're so tired out.
Well, it's going to be a big job. You better not be too tired, because after Christmas is all done and you take all this down, that's going to take a week or two.
Week or two it'll be till spring.
Well, one thing about it, we've had some beautiful weather here with the green grass this year, so the weather hasn't been too bad putting it up. Well, by the time you take it down, Mother Nature might not be so motherly. Well, we want to thank you, Chuck. I want to thank you very much for showing us around your place today. And Judy, thank you very much. Judy and Chuck Hoff Farm. And we want to thank everybody for watching the show today. And we'll see you on the next Discover Trempealeau County.